On the morning of April 16th, 1947, the people of a small Texas port town woke up thinking it would just be another work day. But you know that's probably not the case, because dock workers, they went ahead, they packed their lunches. Kids, they got dressed for school. Firefighters, they reported for duty. That's normal. Down by the harbor, a cargo ship was tied to the pier. It wasn't a warship, it wasn't carrying weapons, it wasn't even under attack. It was carrying fertilizer. By mid-morning, that ship would explode with a force so violent that scientists would later struggle to explain how it was even possible. And by noon, the town would be unrecognizable. By nightfall, hundreds would be dead. By the following week, one of the deadliest disasters in American history would already be slipping out of the public memory. This is the true story of the Texas City disaster and how a completely ordinary morning turned into an apocalypse. Whoa. I mean, there's a lot of people that are thinking there's a snowlopaclus. How would you say that? It's not a whole of snow apocalypse. How do you combine snow and apocalypse? Snowpocalypse?
Sure.
Sounds like an animal in the jungle. You see that snowpocalypse over there? I mean, which?
Snowmageddon.
I mean, Snowmageddon. I mean, they're getting some terrible weather down there, which is our normal winter, and I know they're not built for it, but man, I know before we pressed record, you were showing me some videos of Mississippi, and that looks like a disaster. It looks like not a good time. Hopefully everybody...
The ice storms are hitting pretty hard.
Yeah, and that's brutal. They will, hopefully they'll be all right and recover and all that good stuff, and we're in the middle of a nor'easter as well, so not a good time. I don't know who pissed Mother Nature off, but if they could get on her good side, I would appreciate it, right? And how rude of me not to introduce. For anybody new here, this is the Yore Town Podcast, and the voice you're hearing, it's me, it's Matt, it's Beardlaws, and joining me as always, the beautiful, the bundled up Dun Queen, Meg.
Hello.
Oh, it's been another busy week. A little less games for you. Normal games for moi. But yeah, it's been crazy. The weather, no bueno, but we're getting through it. I know you just keep thinking, like, it's almost February. We're almost out of this. And then you look at the forecast and you're like...
February. I never say February. It's always March, at least.
Yeah, pretty much plan on, if you're in this area or thinking about moving to this area, probably don't unless you really enjoy having snow from Halloween to St. Patty's Day. All right?
Or beyond. Maybe Easter.
Maybe Easter. But Easter's one of those weird ones, because don't they move it around? Like, sometimes it's early, sometimes it's late. I don't get that holiday. At least with the rest of them.
But we have had snow in April.
Yeah. It's easier to find where the Easter Bunny has been hopping. A little guy, but either way, this one is an interesting one. Trying to get away from the fire, but this one probably does have some fire, and it's just a weird situation. Have you heard of this one? Ooh, well, maybe a lot of them haven't as well, and they're super excited too, so I say we jump right into it, huh? All right. Texas City disaster starts, right when? 1947. Texas City sat along the Gulf Coast, southeast of Houston. It was a blue-collar town built around shipping, oil refining, and chemical plants. The port was the heartbeat of the community. April 16th, several ships were docked, including a French cargo vessel called the SS Grand Camp. The Grand Camp had recently arrived from Europe as part of post-World War II reconstruction efforts. Its cargo was stacked deep in the ship's hold, 100 tons of ammonium nitrate fertilizer packed in paper sacks. It's a lot of fertilizer, huh? What do you think that was for? Like, I know obviously it was like to reconstruct World War II stuff. It wasn't like a ton of damage in Texas during World War II, was there? Not like a history buff by any means, but I don't remember Houston being superly affected, right? Unless it was coming in as maybe like a major, probably easier to get in from Europe into Texas than it is to somewhere else. I don't know. Sorry.
I don't know.
We're not pretending to be your next history teacher, so we'll educate ourselves a little better. But you might be wondering, ammonium nitrate, what's that for? Well, at the time, it was used widely in agricultural and considered stable enough for routine transport. Another one of those at the time. That means that I guarantee you they probably don't use ammonium nitrate anymore. Do you think they do? Let's ask my phone. Do they still use ammonium nitrate for agriculture? Let's see here. Do you think they do?
I'm saying yes.
Okay, well, that's why you're smarter and more beautiful than me, because you are correct. Yes, ammonium nitrate is still heavily used as a high nitrogen fertilizer in agriculture worldwide, particularly because it provides immediate available nitrogen to crops and does not easily volatilize like urea. They put it on pastures, hay, and as a top dressing for crops like wheat. But it's strictly regulated in many regions due to its explosive potential.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. And at the time, again, 1947, there were no federal regulations requiring special handling. There was no evacuation plans, and there was really no real understanding of what heat could do to it in large quantities. Unfortunately, that gap in knowledge would prove to be pretty catastrophic. Approximately 8 a.m. Crew members aboard the Grand Camp, which I kind of dig in that boat name, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. It's like a cool camp, but I'm getting like Grandpa Camp vibes. Like an old school camp.
Grandpa camp?
Yeah. Grand Camp. Combined Grandpa and Camp. Grand Camp.
Okay.
Left for the grandkids, but it's a camp for the grandkids from Grandpa.
Okay.
It's Grand Camp.
All right.
Not on the same page?
Sure.
Sure. Well, it could be by the shore.
Moving on.
All right. Well, the crew members aboard the Grand Camp noticed smoke rising from the cargo hold. It wasn't thick at first. There was no visible flames like in the last couple of our episodes. If you want to watch them, there was a lot of flames and fire. There was just smoke. The crew began standard firefighting procedures. They opened the hatches, hoping to locate the source. But what happens, Meg, when you introduce oxygen to a fire?
It rages.
It rages. And that's exactly what it did. It intensified pretty quickly. The captain, what do you think the captain's name was?
Oliver.
Let's go with it. I don't know, but what's his last name? Because you've been pretty good at being like 50-50, guessing first name, last name. Oliver
Philip.
Sounds very European. Concerned about the captain, Oliver. What'd you call him? Oliver
Philip.
Oliver Phillip. Disclaimer, not the real name, unless it is, and that's pretty impressive. But either way, El Captain was concerned about damaging the cargo with water. So he made a decision that, according to later investigations, unfortunately sealed the fate of not only the ship, but the town. You know what he did? He said, close the hatches. And superheated steam pumped into the hold to smother the fire. The method had worked on other cargo fires, but ammonium nitrate doesn't behave like normal cargo. When heated and confined, it becomes unstable. And no one on the dock truly understood that yet. That's an interesting concept, right? Close the hatches and superheated steam pumped into the hold to smother the fire. So they closed it, heated up the steam pump, and then some more heat can put out fire? Does heat kill the oxygen? So his thought was close it, no oxygen in there, heat it up to burn off the oxygen or something?
I don't know.
Also, not going to be your chemistry teacher, but I wonder if, because they said that it did work on previous cargo fires. Interesting, right?
Well, if you're creating steam too,
Guess there's a little bit of water in there that...
it would settle with no oxygen.
Oh, Captain Oliver. But either way, as the temperature inside the ship continued to climb, something unusual happened. You know what that was, Meg? The smoke. It changed color. It turned a thick, consistency. And guess what color it turned?
Yellow.
Orange. Sign now known: nitrogen dioxide being released as ammonium nitrate breaks down. At the time, no one recognized it as a warning. Instead, the fire became a spectacle. Dock workers paused their shifts. Nearby residents walked down to the harbor. Children, they were lifted up to see the burning ship. I mean, 1947, you don't think anything's going to happen. You're just looking and you're going, oh my God, I can't believe that huge ship is burning orange. Orange smoke. Nearly the entire Texas City Volunteer Fire Department then responds to the fire. Firefighters, they just climb right aboard Grand Camp, attempting to fight the fire from above. completely unaware that unfortunately, Meg, they were standing on a ticking bomb. Photographs were taken. People watched calmly. There was no evacuation order. There was no sirens. There was no sense of urgency. Just the town unknowingly gathering around its destruction. I mean, look at these old school pictures. I know obviously I'm here. We'll share it to the screen here just so anybody that is on the YouTubes. These are a couple of pictures of the scene with the ship burning and just some people kind of starting to gather around said. Crazy, right? And I mean, it was just a town that unknowingly gathered around its own destruction. Isn't that terrible? So again, that was all 8 o'clock. They started to report the fire and everything like that. So an hour and 12 minutes. It's 9:12 a.m. The Grand Camp detonated. The explosion was estimated to be equivalent to 2,700 tons of TNT. So to put that in perspective, it was one of the largest non-nuclear explosions ever recorded at the time. That's a lot. So, I mean, here's a depiction of it. You can see that, right? I mean, it just blasted. That's the square or the circle radius or circumference of the blast. And these were just pictures from the town above. Dig out of town, the ship, it ceased to exist. And the blast instantly killed hundreds near the docks. Unfortunately, all the volunteer firefighters that were putting it out there. And then, you know, obviously with a blast like that, it actually launched steel fragments weighing several tons across the city. Tons of steel flying through the air, taking out buildings, taking out there. And it actually created a mushroom cloud that rose over 2,000 feet. And it shattered windows as far as 40 miles away. Show them on here. All right, we'll share this to the screen. This is like a depiction, the first one. No, this seems to be a drawing of it. But this is the zones, the different zones. Obviously, there's zone 1, 2, 3. The green is zone 1. This blue one here is 2. This is 3. That's a half mile there. And this was just an image taken from above. But what's crazy to me is people closest to the ship, they were not injured. They were vaporized. So the blast generated a tidal wave that surged inland, sweeping away buildings and people alike. So it kind of went like this, and then just after. So listen to this. This is unbelievable in my opinion. The anchor of the Grand Camp, which weighed over 2 tons, they found it nearly 2 miles away from the port. A 2-ton anchor. That ship blew so much that it landed 2 miles away.
Wow.
What? So Texas City wasn't damaged. Texas City was reconfigured. And you're probably thinking, well, you know, obviously it's a terrible disaster, and the disaster, it just ends after the initial event, right? And that's what most of them do. There's one huge event, a volcano eruption, terrible, a tsunami, and it's done, right? This one didn't. If it couldn't have gotten any worse, it sure did, because nearby was another vessel, the SS High Flyer, and it was loaded with sulfur and even more ammonium nitrate. So the explosion from the Grand Camp had ignited it for hours. Fires burned uncontrollably across the port. The fire department was gone. Emergency services were obviously overwhelmed. Communication systems were completely destroyed. Authorities debated cutting the High Flyer loose. Just let it go out to sea and blow up. But unfortunately, Meg, they ran out of time. 1:10 a.m. on April 17th, the High Flyer then exploded. The second blast reignited fires across what remained of the town. So what little had actually survived the first explosion now burned again. I mean, here we'll show a couple of pictures of the aftermath. I mean, you can see these, and you're seeing these for the first time, Meg. We'll show them here on the pod. I mean, this is just brutal. Absolutely brutal. I'm guessing that's the anchor that they found from 2 miles away. Probably some weird statue thing now. And then it's just smoke. Just unbelievable.
It's wild.
When it was finally over, 181 people were confirmed dead, over 5,000 were injured, and more than 1,000 buildings were destroyed. Entire neighborhoods were just simply erased. And it was so bad of an explosion that some of the victims could never even be identified. And then there was just other where there was just no remains. There were just names that just disappeared from records. That's unbelievable, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And Texas City filed one of the largest mass civil lawsuits in U.S. history. Thousands sued the federal government, arguing negligence in shipping and safety oversight. It was so wild that the case even reached the Supreme Court. Guess what the ruling was, man? The government was not liable. I mean, was the government going to take accountability? There was no criminal charges, no sweeping reform. And then slowly the whole story just faded away. I mean, I've never heard of it. I know we're like not super old, but we're not super young either. Less than 40 years after that happened, we were put on this planet. I mean, maybe in the Houston area and stuff like that, they still talk about it, but I never heard about it until today.
Me either.
And if we haven't heard about it, I'm assuming a lot of these people listening haven't heard about it. The Texas City disaster, it wasn't an accident caused by bad luck. It was caused by assumptions. Assumptions that a chemical was safe. Assumptions that fires behave predictably. Assumptions that this can't happen here. But ammonium nitrate, it would later cause disasters in Beirut, Oklahoma City, and some other cities. Unfortunately, Texas City was only just the warning. It was a warning that paid for with hundreds and hundreds of lives. And yeah, like we were just talking about, most Americans, they've never heard its name. Unreal. I just couldn't imagine. I couldn't imagine. And thankfully, hopefully we do, but it's scary because where we live, there's a lot of ships, right?
Yeah.
A lot of ships. And you hope that this would never happen, but in theory, it could. At least most of the ships that are up here are, I actually don't even know what most of them are filled with.
I don't either.
Salt? Did I take a bunch of salt and send it down to the south?
I have no idea.
Me neither.
I've never really thought about it.
Me neither. No, I am. I don't like it. I know for a while they were shipping a lot of stuff up for the windmills because there was a ton of windmill projects throughout New York, so they would ship them up, put them on a truck, drive them down there.
Right.
Oh. I don't want to know what's on those ships. Do you?
No, I don't. Just keep on passing by.
Just keep on passing by, and hopefully none of them explode.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? Hit them with the outro? Get out of here?
Yep.
Ship caught fire. The town gathered, and in a matter of seconds, history was rewritten. And not by war, not by terrorism, but by a misunderstanding of what we thought that we controlled. This was the Texas City disaster, and this was Yore Town. If you like it, let us know. Throw out some free stars, 5 stars if you want. I don't know how that works. Some thumbs up, all that good stuff. What'd you think, Meg?
That's a good one.
Crazy, right? I don't know why. I know it technically wasn't fire, but there was still fire involved.
Why are you stuck on fire?
I don't know. Maybe because I'm so cold and I just want to be
because it's so cold.
I just want some heat in my life. Just doing it this way. But all right. Well, either way, seems like a good day to have a good day. And hopefully everybody does. That's all we got. This has been the Yore Town Podcast. I'm Matt. That's Meg. Should we do it again next week?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Got any ideas?
Not yet.
No. Hopefully Captain Oliver and his legacy lives on.
Maybe we could do something about a big storm.
The ice storm in 98?
Since it's like fitting right now.
I wonder if anybody's ever done a deep dive on the ice storm in 98 that happened up here. If you remember, I shall dig deep. That'd be cool, or you want to think of a different one? We'll brainstorm. Come back with a storm.
There's also the microburst. That was a big storm.
All right, we're going to do something stormy. A storm is brewing next week. So get your cups of coffee brewed up. Sound good?
Mm-hmm.
All right, it's been decided. That's all we got. We'll be back next week. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.